Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of CFO Chronicles, the secrets behind success, where we sit down with leaders who are rethinking what it means to run a sharp, scalable, and financially smart business. I'm your host, James Donovan, and today's episode is a special one because I got to meet today's guest face to face recently at GrowCon. We had a great time hanging out from casino night to catching the hockey playoffs at the bar. The energy was fun, but the conversations were deep, and I walked away thinking, this is someone I have to bring on the show. Before we dive in, big thanks to our sponsor, BILL.com. If you're still doing payables manually or drowning in email approvals, it's time to upgrade. BILL.com helps automate your AP process so that you can focus on higher value strategy and you can grab an exclusive offer at bill.com/promo 500. Now, let me introduce today's guest. Sharrin Fuller is the founder and CEO of Glass Wallet Ventures. Her firm helps businesses scale smarter by stepping in with fractional leadership, giving founders and teams the executive clarity they need without the full-time overhead. She's all about visibility, systems that work, and financial leadership that actually moves the needle. We're going to dig into her story, her wins, and what she sees on the horizon for the future of finance and fractional models. Let's get into it. Sharrin, let's rewind a bit. What were you doing before launching Glass Wallet Ventures?
I had a different company. I had an accounting firm that I started in 2006 because I was the operations manager at a cold storage facility, and I somehow ended up doing everything for them. And then he said, "Hey, I'm going to sell this company." I was like, "What am I going to do?" And we had a bunch of tenants that leased space in our building, and they said, "I wish I could hire you, but I only need you for like 5 hours a week." I'm like, "Oh, there's like 8 to 10 of you. That's a full-time job." So my first company was a simple office solution, and I was your mobile office manager. So I did office management and bookkeeping. I lived in San Diego. On Monday, I'd drive office to office and pick up I honestly have them put like a shoebox out because that's the level where everybody was at. I'd grab their folder, their shoebox, take it back home, scan it, file it, do their books, go back in, prep the checks on that next Monday, send out check
My
sign, send
God.
it out, and take it back with me. So I think I feel like I really kind of helped pioneer the start of the lazy accounting, work from home. I am not going to work in a desk 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. I wanted to work at a bar or on the beach.
Yes. Well, we've had the pleasure of being able to share a couple of drinks at a bar and watch hockey.
Yes,
So,
that is correct.
yeah, that's
Oh,
awesome.
hockey.
Um, was there a moment that pushed you to take the leap and build something of your own?
Yeah. Oh man, I tell you, I've been working since I was like 10. We all have paper routes. I want my own money. The worst thing is when your parents are like, if you do this, I'll give you $1. I'm like, no, I'm going to go do this. And then you can't tell me what to do with it. Right. So I always had a paper route or I nannied. And then I was in sales. I did timeshares, Kirby vacuums, you name it. Printer ink or printer consumables. And then I worked for Costco and I opened Costco's and I was in marketing. And then I left Costco and I went to be a paralegal. And when I was going to be a paralegal, I was like, I can't do this. I can't do school. This is just awful. I can't do this anymore. I even tried to do college during high school. I was like, this is paid high school. Well, I also have my manicurist license in 3 states. A lot of people don't know that about me. So I can license to do your nails in 3 states. So during my paralegal, I got to the business section. I'm like, I'm just gonna go buy a business. This is dumb. So I bought the salon that I was doing nails in.
No way.
Um, and then from there, I was like, I can't work for anybody anymore. I can't. Every time I work for somebody, I can't handle corporate. I can't handle watch what you say. You have to be at this desk from 9 to 5 because if you're not working. And I mean, it's just I couldn't do it. I was like, this is the most inefficient this is ridiculous. So I decided, as my friend Sean Duncan always says, I am just unemployable. Um, so I just decided I always need to work for myself. So I'm like, I better find something I'm really good at and that works. Otherwise, I'm just going to be a bum.
Did I hear you correctly say you worked at Costco?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
I worked at Costco years ago
Did
as
you?
well. Yeah.
When? What year?
Um, when was it? I probably 2009. I would have
Uh,
been
I was long gone by then.
graduating. I think it was the summer I was getting ready to graduate high school or the year before maybe. I was packing groceries like or
Oh God.
packing the cart after school, and then would
Yeah.
stock the shelves or like push the carts in. So
Yep.
I really enjoyed it. Like they always paid really well, and it's a
I
good
did
after school job.
I
No?
started, I opened the St. George, Utah one in 2000, and I was in membership and marketing because I'm such a people person, obviously. And then I would travel with Costco and open all the new locations. Like I opened the Austin, Texas one,
Okay.
and I opened the one they transferred downtown or in Henderson. They moved locations. I opened that one. But I really didn't like it because, again, it wasn't whether or not you're good at your job or anything. It was how long have you been with the company? Seniority. So I'm like, okay, so this dum dum here who can't do anything, it just gets promoted because they've been here 5 years longer. And it was just so, I was like, I can't do this. I just can't. And I was cross trained I worked everywhere. I loved it. Anytime there was cross training open, I'd be like, train me. Food court, all of it. I could make you all that stuff right now. I could fold the clothes. I could do sales. I was in the tire station for like a few months, and that was my favorite. But I eventually left when it was just so many Chiefs and not enough Indians. And then the ones that had been there longer would get so mad at me because they're like, you've only been in the company for 2 years and you're cross trained more than I am. I'm like, I want to. Did you apply for it? I don't know what to tell you. So I just couldn't. Corporate's not for me.
Yeah,
Not for me.
fair. Interesting that we share that Costco employment. It
But I
sounds
was
like
there when
you're
they only paid like $10 an hour. You started in 2009 when they were probably like at 15, 16. So 10
yeah,
bucks
but
was amazing in St. George in 2000.
it was Canadian though, so it probably was equivalent to
Oh,
the
yeah.
US. Um,
$4.25 US.
yeah, yeah. I gotta ask you, where did the name Glass Wallet come from? It's such a unique visual.
I am unique. So when I first started Glass Wallets, after I sold my firm, I thought I want to buy people's firms or invest in their firms, build them up, take equity, and then let them grow or sell. So the whole thing was transparency, Glass Wallet. I'm going to buy a bunch, and just it
Nice.
was going to be more of like a investment venture type thing. And then of course I ended up just starting more firms
You just yeah,
because I am a glutton for punishment. And I'm into that whole crazy S&M. I just like to be beat up because I didn't learn my lesson the first time. So it was really just about transparency more than anything.
yeah.
Still is.
Cool. That's
I'm
awesome.
I'm overly transparent.
No, I love it. That's so cool. What was the vision for the business when you started, and how has it evolved since?
Okay. Yeah. So the vision was really just, I thought, I really just want to help. I want to help people do what I did because I just went through it. And I see so many people, I'm going to take these off because they're glaring. I see so many people who start their company and they're just a mess and I'd been there, right? Like I started it before. I think the first project management software was Todoist. And it was just, there was like nothing. I think Asana was just coming out, but in 2006, there was nothing. I just was seeing all these people trying to adjust after COVID, but I was already way ahead of the curve because this is how we already did it. We were fully remote from the beginning. So I just wanted to help those people and I wanted to educate and I don't know, just advise. And like I said, I somehow got not roped in. Building accounting firms was just something I was good at and I could do. And so I just I did it again. And now I don't know if you saw, but I'm selling my firm. So I bought out
Yeah,
my
yeah,
two
I saw that.
partners, selling it, and going back to Glass Wallet and back to my original vision, which is again advising accounting firm owners. And I'm also doing some advisory for some fintech startups because they're trying to get into the accounting world. And I keep telling them, you've got money, you got brains, but you're missing a gap in the market and you're trying to build something that's already built, shift and build this. So I'm trying to help them do that so they don't blow other people's money, but whatever.
Um, what makes your approach different from traditional advisory for or for other accounting firms?
um, well, traditional is a
Yeah, it's
subjective, right?
a loose term.
So I'm not corporate, of course, and I've worked for companies that I work the 90 hours a week, and I just know how I feel like I relate to people better. And I always remember what it felt like being that super motivated number one employee that just got crapped on all the time because I didn't have a CPA behind my name or because they knew they could take advantage of me because I cared, right? And I also know I've done all of it. I've failed. I failed. I failed. I succeeded. I failed again. I failed. I succeeded. So, and then I've done it on both sides. I've been the employee. I've been the employer. I've been the owner. So I'm taking the approach of trying to really relate to people on a personal level and letting them know that business is business, yes, but when it's your business and it's your team, this is personal. And people need to give themselves the grace and kind of understand where they want to be, because I may have this way to do things, but it needs to fit into what your vision is of your business. So really I'm just super transparent. I'm not going to sell something that doesn't work for you. I'm not going to try to push you to do something you're not. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste your money. And that's really kind of the way I do it. I don't know if I would be like a a coach. I will be the one that will not be letting you stay. I'm like, get up. I
Yeah.
will light a fire under you. Yeah.
People need that though. That's awesome. It
Some
sounds like you
do.
bring the accountability.
I am. I do bring the accountability, but you gotta do it differently, because I have never been able to have a like a fitness coach, like a personal trainer. I hate being told what to do. And if you try to tell me what to do or tell me no, I am just gonna be like doing the opposite. So I am not good like that. Like I can't do Tony
Yeah.
Robbins. I can't do any of that. But a lot of people need that, and you just really got to find out how to get to them. Not get to them, but how to work with them, because
Yeah.
my her way doesn't work for everybody. A lot of men don't like it. Some do. Women are usually harder to read. Men are easy. They're like, knock it off. Women are like, so I have to be that's the one I have to be careful with. Even though I am a woman, I've worked with so many men, especially a lot of my clients were VC backed startups in the software industry. So a lot of men and a lot of engineers, and you get into that world, and it's a different world of sitting at a board table with those people than where I sit at a board table with the AFWA, the Accounting Finance Women's Alliance. Different world. And I'm always like, tone it down, Sharrin, tone it down.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That's
I just
cool.
have to say it nicely. So,
Yeah.
everybody, this sucks. You're all amazing. This sucks. Let's fix it. Whereas before I'd be like, oh, but yeah.
What's one thing founders usually don't realize they need until you show up?
Um, uh, in game, they just, most of the founders, most people that start something because they've been somewhere, they're good at the process, they're good at the product and the service, and they just cannot, they're going to do it better than where they're at. And they're great at product and service, but they didn't think about what happens when I need more people. Who am I going to add? What do I want to do with this in 3 years? What happens if I need to take a vacation? They don't have any of that vision planned. I didn't. I just knew I needed to make money. And I wasn't going to go back to work for someone. And usually by the time they really get into it and realize what they need to do, they're in a hole. They can't scale because they don't have the time to stop. They can't exit because nothing set, they get no valuation for their company. It's nothing will transfer. It really just that in game, where are they going? What's their roadmap?
Okay. Awesome.
You have to identify that before you identify anything. Because if you don't know where you're going, you can't get in your car and drive.
Yep. That's so true. And then you're just driving blind essentially.
I'm going to trademark that saying, so I'm not.
It sounded great. Um, are you able to share a recent client win that really illustrates what you do best? Or one that just
Um,
gets you like super fired up?
Absolutely. I mean, always. I mean, so I have my firm where I have core, and then I also have my advisory. I do fractional CFO work for some of my clients as well. One of them is they're just a huge company. And when I first came in, of course, they're like, well, we don't really need you. And so every time I just kind of sat in the background quietly. But now, and it's for men, which I'm not a man hater in any way, but just me. When I come in, they're usually like, I'm not listening to this one. So just when they reach out to me and they say, hey, Sharrin, we need you to rebuild this for us, or hey, Sharrin, we're about to go do this, and then they entrust me with it, I just know that I'm doing something right, especially when I come into the room and they don't want to hear me. They want me to sit down. They want me to be quiet. They don't care what I have to say. And somehow being able to build that trust, build that relationship, stand my ground while staying in my lane, which is a really hard one for me because I'm a dominant, assertive person, but you can't be that way with everybody. Some you have to. So really kind of knowing how to get in to prove that I am anyhow. So yeah, I was really kind of excited with the other day when they actually called me up and said, we need your help on this project. We don't know where else to go. After we went to you first, and I have a feeling you're going to get it figured out. And I just, of course, dropped everything I did because I wanted to be like, yep, here you go. So it makes me feel good when I see the transition from to please don't leave.
That's so cool. All right,
Yeah.
random question for you.
Hmm.
For, I guess, the people who aren't watching, just the listeners,
Uh-huh.
what's the significance of the guitar behind you?
Everybody asks me that. Our Alexakis from Everclear should really give me royalties. I am a Everclear. You're too young for this. You probably only know one song, Everclear, which is lead singer Art Alexakis. I'm their number one fan. I've been to their concerts like 20 times. So during COVID was my 40th birthday, and I already had he's like a not a has been, but it's alternative rock. So he
Okay.
plays, country fairs, things like that. So it was like he had an offering for only 5 people that entire year that he would come to your house, cook for you and 10 friends, and
Stop.
play like an hour concert. So I bought it for my 40th. And then
That's
COVID
so
hit
cool.
and they canceled it. So he sent me a Fender Strat autographed. I don't know if you could see anyhow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then gave me a little birthday message. It was really cool. I was really excited about it. So yeah, if there was a fire, I'd grab that. My dog. I'd tick my husband. He'd wake up.
That's so cool. I'm sorry to hear that you weren't able to have the in-person, intimate
I
concert, but
know. And
not a
then he got
bad,
MS, so now he's not doing that
yeah.
anymore. But I still see him every time he's coming around. I think in like a month or something, I'll go see him
Okay.
again.
Well, good consolation prize to have it in the shadow box.
Hey,
That's really cool.
hey, yeah. And I've met him so many times that it's like, hey, Art, what's up? How's it going?
That's cool. All right. I got another question for you. So we
All
all
right.
hit walls at some point. What's one
Mm,
hard lesson you've learned on the entrepreneurial path that has helped shape you for who you are now?
document, document, document. You hit that wall when you cannot transition or hand things off. When you, if you're running everything, if you're not running everything as if and my whole entire team wins the lottery tomorrow and nobody comes in, well, can I pick it up? You're in trouble. You have to. And I've done it 3 times now. I teach it, but I wasn't doing it. So I actually just went through it again last October, got rid of almost my entire team, but like 2 people, and I had like 12, and stepped in and just documented and templated everything. And I'm like, this was so easy. Why didn't I do it? But if you don't have that, everything goes down the gutter because nobody, how do you scale? How do you bring on another member to your team if it's not written on how to do things, right? You just cannot scale without the documentation. So that will stop you in every single way.
That's such a sobering thought of if your team all wins the lottery and they decide to leave the next day. Do you have
I used to say hit by a
backup?
bus, but I was told that's morbid.
Yeah. I don't know. It hits different the way you worded that of like if they win the
Oh,
lotto
good.
and like hey, they love you, but they're not coming back.
Yeah.
What do you do? And that's a
Yeah.
scary thing. So that's
Yeah.
hopefully some people listening also resonate with that and they're like, all right, I gotta document some more stuff. I know I do listening to that. So
I'm
thanks for
actually
that.
releasing a course today. I have the clone and conquer method I just trademarked, and it's how to clone what you do. And so you can work less in your business and more on it. Like it's all about getting everything out there so it can be replicated over and over. And you do it once and you don't have to do it again. And it's really amazing to me. It's such an easy thing to me, but I forget that it's not to everybody, and it feels like it's the end of the world. So I'm teaching my methods.
Nice. That's so cool.
Yeah,
Is that a
excited.
little teaser of what clients would get working with you as well?
Yes, I we actually just launched my community. We're calling it the Hub, the Clone and Conquer Hub. And it's really for those that don't really want one-on-one, have time for one-on-one, but they want to be part of the conversation. If they're in my hub, they get all of my courses that I'm
Mhm.
doing, and they also get templates and all that thing. And then the one-on-one is really more strategic based on what your needs are, because everybody's going to have different needs. So I have like a different level, like, what are we going after first? Because what I think is a priority isn't going to be someone else's priority.
Yeah.
And if they don't know, then sure, we'll start in the way I want to do it. But some people really have, this is what I want right now, and you just got to help them get through that first.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's really cool. Um, what's one tool or system or ritual that keeps people from operating at such a high level?
They don't have a decent project management
Or sorry,
tool
that keeps you operating at a high level. Or I guess we can go either way. I'm getting
yeah,
my
either way,
questions mixed up.
your project management tool is everything. Everybody needs to be on the same system. You need to be able to communicate. You need to be able to have that process in place, the handoff, the templates. Everybody needs to be working the same on your team, and everybody needs to have visibility because, like I said, you have to be able to know. You never know when something's going to come up, and if you can see every single task in your project management tool across your team, you don't necessarily have to micromanage because you can open it up, see where it is, see if there's an issue, be proactive. I honestly don't know how people operate when they're in Excel or when they're on something else. I'm always telling them, just get on something, just something that you control. Don't let people keep it on their own desktops. It scares me.
I
Project management tools, everything.
Yeah. I'm curious to hear your answer on this. I'll chime in after, but do you have a project management tool that you recommend?
I do. So if you're client facing and you're handling a lot of clients, I love Client Hub. It has come a long way since it first came out. I love it. Me personally, for Glass Wallet, since I don't need people, so Client Hub's great because we have all of our clients in there. We're
Mhm.
communicating with them, documents, client tasks. Me personally, I have ADHD. If you haven't noticed, I use Motion. It's got a whole, I put my task in there, the importance, when it's due, the time, and it auto schedules me. So I know when I hang up with you, there's a call I need to schedule and I need to work on a budget and it's got a hard deadline. I have to have it done before 5 p.m. So I can, because otherwise it's easy to look at all my things and be like, everything's due or nothing's due. But now
Yeah.
it tells me what I have to do. And it has honestly changed my life. But I don't think it works if you're managing client work. I think
Yeah.
it's mainly for a team and internal work.
Okay. Cool.
In my
That's really good.
opinion, Motion might kill me, but I wouldn't recommend it as an accounting firm project management tool.
Okay. I was gonna add in because I always hear this from other mentors of mine, and they always just say the best project management tool is the one you'll use
Uh,
because people can get so hung up on, like picking the color of the logo and picking this. It's like that's just busy work. Pick the
yeah.
one that will work for you. It's
See, I agree and I disagree with that because nothing's a time suck to your company than choosing the wrong tool. If the project manager tool is everything, it should be your number one thing for your entire company. Everything sits there at your hub. If you get something based on, oh, I just need to get something, you're going to have to move to something else because it's not going to scale. So you really need to think through what you need, what your needs are, how you're going to utilize it. What else are you plugging into it? I have this whole tech stack thing that tells you what should read into what. And if it doesn't work, you got to find something that does. Otherwise, to lift your company off of a project management tool and set it up in another one will take you a month, 2 months, and you could drop so many balls. So while I agree to get into something, I also agree that they need to think about it a little bit more.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll
Agree
I'll
to
I'll
disagree.
I'll take the challenge on that. No, I mean I just think sometimes people can get so hung up. It's like Monday or Asana. It's like, okay, well, a lot of them are pretty similar for the most part. I think you're so experienced in all of them, so maybe you're seeing it through a different
Use them all.
lens. You're seeing it through a different lens, but I think if someone isn't really sure where to start, yeah, most of them are apples and apples, right?
I tell them to knock out that 7 day trial and to bop around. And for me, if it's pretty intuitive and the UI it's user
Hmm.
friendly, I will stick with it. If I can hop in and I'm pretty tech savvy. So if I hop in and I'm like, what is happening? Or I don't like this, I'm out and I don't care. Like it's no. So I always tell people jump around and see which one you like the best. Like they all have the same features. Great. Now jump in and be like, ooh, this one is purple and I love purple and this one makes me happy. And this one looks like DOS and I don't like that. So I always think the user experience is a really is a big thing.
Okay, perfect. Some helpful stuff there for either side of the fence. People can decide which direction they want to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got two more questions for you.
Okay.
Any book, podcast, or mentor that shaped how you lead?
Um, so I she's gonna hate I say this. I do really look up to Dawn Berlin. She was kind of one of the first
It's awesome.
counting friends I made. We were on the ADP board together in 2017, and I had never been to anything accounting, not a conference, nothing. And I was sitting at a bar, I knew nobody. I'm in New York. And this crazy lady came in and we were just sitting down being crazy together. And I'm like, I love her. And we just became friends ever since then. So I really, I trust her. At GrowCon, I think I told you she left early to meet. And then I took a different flight where we could both hang out in the Delta lounge for 4 hours before she caught her flight. And I went over to GrowCon. But, I love her. I look up to her. She's been through a lot. I love that she's very open about her failures, open about her wins, and she cares about people, but she's fun and she's real. And I've honestly always just really looked up to her. She's going to hate me for saying that. She's going to hate it, but it's true.
Awesome. And then what's the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
Oh man. So I'm gonna think there is something that my dad, I don't even like quoting my dad because he's no longer with us, but he was kind of a douche the last 7 years of his life. He always told me loose lips sink ships, and you are the company or guilty by association. And I never understood it when I was a kid. And as I got older, I'm like, oh, shut your mouth, Sharrin. And that's what I really learned. Like, if you tell it, it's going to get out there, right? I every time I say something, I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. It always comes back to bite me. So I'm always very careful for the words that come out of my mouth. I stand by it. And then guilty by association was one I didn't understand until I was older. And I'm like, oh, I hate that, but it's true, right? So now it's like you hang out with a bunch of drug dealers, you're a drug dealer. It's just how it is, and take any of that however you want. But it has helped me make decisions in my life that I probably would have made differently because I'm an empathetic person, and I only see the good in everybody. I see someone like, oh, you're stealing cars? Well, wouldn't it be amazing if you became a car salesman? You know all about cars. Let's go get you a car salesman job and you'll make $1 gazillion and you won't go to jail. But they want to be they want to steal cars, right? So I'm always that person that tries to save them, and I can't. I have to. So those things kind of help keep me in place a little bit.
I love it. That's so good. Thank you so much for coming on, Sharrin, and
Of
sharing
course.
all of your wisdom and having this conversation. It was so awesome getting to meet you at GrowCon and
Yes.
hang out at casino night and hang out at the bar after and watch the hockey game. I forget. I know Vegas was playing at the time, or the Oilers are on. I forget.
Vegas and the Oilers, and we lost that
Yes.
round, and then
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
okay. The Oilers just lost, and that made me happy.
Yeah, just lost last night. So,
It was amazing.
yeah, no, it was honestly a pleasure, and I can't wait to see you again at your
Yes.
event in Arizona. So, yeah,
Yes.
thanks again for coming on. This was awesome. And
Of course.
how can people get in touch with you if they want to hear a little bit more or continue the conversation?
My website for sure, glasswalletventures.com. Everything's on there about me in every single way. LinkedIn, email, contact, all the things, my podcast, my advisory, all of it. That's
Awesome.
the way.
Perfect. We'll put that link in the show notes so everyone can get in touch. Again, Sharrin, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of CFO Chronicles, the secrets behind success. I hope you found value in today's conversation. As we wrap up, I'd love for you to do two things. First, make sure to subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. If you enjoyed today's discussion, please rate and review the show. It helps others discover the insights we share here. Second, if you're ready to take your business to the next level and attract the high-end clients you deserve, head over to accountingleadsnow.com or click the link in the show notes to book your strategy call. It's time to position yourself as the advisor your clients need. And don't forget, you can connect with me on LinkedIn to stay up to date on what's happening in the world of accounting and financial growth. We've got exciting topics coming up, so stay tuned for the next episode of CFO Chronicles. Until then, keep pushing forward. Your growth is just one strategic move away.
Thanks for listening to CFO Chronicles, the secrets behind success. We hope today's episode provided valuable strategies to help you attract more high-paying clients. Be sure to subscribe, follow, and share with fellow professionals. Connect with us on LinkedIn and leave a review or comment to join the conversation. Your feedback helps us bring you the best insights in finance and marketing. Until next time, keep striving for success and unlocking your business's potential.